What is up everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another Hangout on the Dansg08 channel. There are a few things I need to update you guys on, so I decided to make a Hangout for it. And I'm just going to get straight into it with the next LP that I'll be doing now that Bloodborne is finished. I've had a poll running on Patreon for a very long time, so a lot of people have had a chance to vote on this. Because Bloodborne took so long, it took a while for me to eventually get around to this poll, but I gave you guys plenty of reminders. I did everything I could to make sure everyone who was willing and able to vote got their vote in, and it had been narrowed down to 3 games. We had Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Legend of Dragoon. Now, for a long time, Nier Automata was edging it. It was slightly ahead of Horizon Zero Dawn, but now that we have reached the end of the poll, I have completely shut down the poll, and by 2 votes, Horizon Zero Dawn has won the vote. So that is going to be the next LP on the channel. For those of you guys that voted for Legend of Dragoon and for Nier Automata, I apologize, you know, your game didn't win, but these are all games that, the games that were in the polls, like even the extended poll when I had like 15 titles, these are all games that are definitely on my radar, which means that there's a good chance that they will get played someday, and judging by how much interest Legend of Dragoon and Nier Automata have gotten, they're definitely games that I'm inclined to play in the future. So this doesn't mean I'm never going to play those games or anything like that, but just for now, based on what's happened with the voting, it's going to be Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm looking forward to playing it. I mean, visually, it's a game that really looked cool to me, it intrigued me, and I've heard a lot of people say that it seems like my kind of game, so I'm hoping you guys will enjoy it. I'll be uploading part 1 to that probably sometime in the coming weeks, I would say, because I'm busy with a few other things right now, but that is going to be the next LP that I'm going to be starting with. We'll be playing Horizon Zero Dawn. So that is the main piece of news I wanted to reveal. Thank you to everybody that signed up to Patreon, that is supporting me on Patreon, that took the time to vote on this as well. I really appreciate it. Hopefully there'll be more polls in the future. When I get closer to the end of Horizon Zero Dawn, I'll probably put up another poll, maybe put some games in there that weren't there last time. Probably put like Nier Automata and stuff in there again, because if it wins second time round, then I can play it, it's no big deal. So just stay tuned. I've got a lot of stuff coming on Patreon, particularly for those guys that get early access, because there's some interesting videos that I'm working on, and you guys will get to see those before everybody else. So yeah, do check out the Patreon if you are interested in that kind of stuff. The next thing is that I have a video coming up about the moderators on the Final Fantasy 24/7 stream that I have been running. I've wanted to make this one for a while, but it took me a long time to kind of sit down and to tell the whole mod story. So to get the whole video together, it's taken some time, but I'm in the editing stage right now. Hopefully that video is going to be edited and completed this week, and I'll hopefully be releasing it within the next couple of weeks or so. So you guys are going to get to learn more about the mod story, how I met them, how I put the team together, how we formed this group, how we've maintained this group, and a little bit more about everybody that's involved in the team. So that video is coming soon. I hope you guys that have been tuning into the stream will be watching that one, because it should be a really cool video, and it's one of the favourite stories that I've told on the channel since I've been around here. Another note about the stream is that for Final Fantasy VII, I have completed the game, and we have maybe about 8 to 10 episodes left before I complete the story. So right now, as of today, I've uploaded part 64, I think, and I don't think the story is going to run longer than maybe like part 70, part 72, something like that. So once the story portion is finished, I'll be adding Final Fantasy VII to the stream, to the Final Fantasy 24/7 stream, and in the meantime I will work on the post-game, because there's some post-game things that we need to do for that as well. But by the time that's finished, I want 7 to already be on the stream, because the storyline would be done, and that would be like a nice addition. I've wanted to add that for a long time. A lot of people have been asking me about Final Fantasy VII, so it's going to be good to finally have that on the stream. So Final Fantasy VII is coming. Once Final Fantasy VII, the playlist is done, so all of the post-game, you know, all of the weapons, all that business, once I'm completely wrapped up on Final Fantasy VII, then after a little break, I'm going to move on to Final Fantasy 13-3. So that's going to be the next Final Fantasy LP on the channel, and once Final Fantasy 13-3 is done, then we're going to wind the clock back again and go to Final Fantasy 6. So it's going to be the first Final Fantasy that I'm going to ever play that's going to be of the pre-PlayStation era. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So that's the news regarding Final Fantasy VII and what's going to come with Final Fantasy LPs. Alongside this, I made part 1 of my How I Make My Videos video. That one did quite well. I mean, a lot of people, even though it was kind of like tech-based, a lot of people still tuned into it, a lot of people checked it out. They had some really nice praise and some nice words to say about it. So I really enjoyed the fact that you guys enjoyed the video. This means I will be continuing on with part 2, so we'll be talking about the editing process on the channel, how I edit my videos, why I edit my videos, the more technical side of things, etc. And then once we're done with part 2, then part 3 is going to be more about like the rendering, the upload process, how do I make my thumbnails, and like all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to the whole story of how I make my videos, there's still going to be more coming from that series. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I would definitely recommend it. It's a different kind of video, it's one that I really enjoyed making, and in terms of the future of this channel, it's always nice to have some avenues to branch out onto. So every now and then I get opportunities to review some more tech type stuff, or maybe there's stuff that I've brought for myself that I'd like to show you guys in a more kind of tech review, product review type situation. If you guys like that format of video a little bit more, that's something I can try and integrate into my channel like every now and again. So obviously I'm not going to become Unbox Therapy, but just like I get a product, or you know, I want to show you guys something a little bit different, and I show you guys in that way instead of just doing like walkthroughs, trivia videos, hangouts, and that kind of thing. So definitely check out part 1 and stay tuned for part 2 of how I make my videos. It's that time of the year when once again I start to think about anniversaries. It's amazing how quick they come, man. I feel like every single year the next year's anniversary just comes around quicker and quicker and quicker. And I remember watching like a Vsauce video about this, about how it feels like time goes by more quickly like the older you get. And he said something that really made sense to me about how like each individual year makes up a smaller proportion of your entire life the older you get. So that's why like in relative terms it feels like that year has gone by more quickly, because it's just such a smaller portion of your life every single time. And I guess with my YouTube career it's exactly the same story. Like for me, like getting from like let's say year 3 to year 4 felt like it took 3 times longer than it did to get from year 10 to year 11. It just feels like it was maybe 6 months ago where I was you know, I celebrated hitting the 100k. I made the vlog, I got the silver play button, but like I look back on it and like it's over 9 months now, and we're closing in on like the 12 month, like the 11-year anniversary of the channel. So it's going to be extremely hard for me to top what happened last year, because you know it was the 10 year, it was a big milestone for me. I hit the 100,000 subscribers. It was an incredible moment and an incredible time for the channel. I started the stream and all this kind of business, so it was like a really like it's very difficult to capture streaks like that on the channel. So this is year 11 now, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to top that. I don't really have anything in mind that's going to be particularly like spectacular. A lot of my time this year has gone to the stream, and I think the stream related videos that I've made and the stories that I'm going to tell related to the stream, they're kind of, that's been the highlight of the 11th year of my channel. So I feel like those are kind of already like my 11-year anniversary type videos. But on the actual day I will try to do something. I don't really have a particular idea yet. Well, I tell a lie, I do have an idea, but it's one that's logistically a little bit difficult to do. So I'm going to do a little bit of research into it. I need to be in the UK to do that one. It depends on my schedule and where I'm going to be at what time and what I'm going to be doing, because of course I've got work outside of YouTube to do as well. So it all depends on that kind of thing. But I will try to do something. If you have any cool ideas for the 11th anniversary that's not going to be too like crazy or hardcore, that you guys would still enjoy, do let me know in the comments, and we can see what we can do about that. By the same token, we are going to be heading to the stream's 1-year anniversary. This is a little bit further away. This is like a month after the 11-year anniversary, but again, it's something I'm thinking about. If you guys are tuning into the stream and you have some ideas of what I could do for the 1-year anniversary, preferably together with my mods, something that we can do as a team, do let me know in the comments as well, because I'm looking for suggestions for what to do for the year anniversary. Now, this is hopefully a topic that a lot of you guys are going to be excited by, because it's something that definitely excited me. I'm going to remain quite tight-lipped about it, because it's something that was a little bit of a, like, how can I explain it? It was like finding treasure for me, and it's something that I'm still currently investigating. I've spent like the last 2 weeks or so really like hardcore investigating this particular thing that I found, and it's to do with Final Fantasy X. It's something to do with a game that I've discovered, and it's something that will take a lot of testing to truly kind of unearth in its full you know, glory. So it's something I've been working on. I've been making notes for it. I've been trying to prepare potential videos for it. What I plan to do with this is to make like a smaller set of videos for it. So not make like one big 1-hour video about it, but break it a bit more up into segments, so that I can keep the videos a bit more shorter, a little bit more focused, and give you guys more Final Fantasy X content sprinkled over a longer period of time rather than just like 2 new Final Fantasy X videos a year or something like that. So it's something I'm continuing to work on. Once again, patrons will get an early look at this kind of stuff once I start working on it and I start releasing the videos for it. So that's how that's going to play out. But there are some new Final Fantasy X videos in the pipeline. Aside from that, there's Final Fantasy X content I've wanted to make for some time anyway, but I haven't really been able to get around and record that because it's quite a big video to record, and I want to try and make sure I do it right because it's an important topic and a lot of people are curious about what I think about it, so I want to try my best to kind of present my opinion in the best way that I can. So I want to talk about Final Fantasy X-3 and what I think about it, should it happen, will it happen, and all that kind of stuff. So that's another video that's in the pipeline. Again, I've got notes written for it, but I need to kind of sit down and do like the voiceover for that particular video as well. So when it comes to Final Fantasy X, there is going to be more content coming. It's going to be fresh content. We're not going to be kind of recycling old stuff. We're going to be finding new stuff, talking about new stuff, and hopefully keeping the Final Fantasy X vibe alive on the channel. So that's hopefully exciting news for you guys. The final thing about Final Fantasy X is that we have the Final Fantasy X Ultimania guide coming out on June the 11th. That's the date that I'm seeing on Amazon. I'm not sure if that's like the correct official date, but that's the date when it comes out. Part of me is a little bit worried because it looks like they've crammed like 4 or 5 games worth of Ultimania into one book. Now, from what I know, Final Fantasy X had 2 Ultimanias of its own. So they had like the story Ultimania and the gameplay Ultimania. But this is like 4 or 5 Final Fantasy games in one book. So I'm pretty certain, like 99% certain, it's not going to be the same content that's in the original Ultimanias translated. But there might be some new and interesting content in there, and it's definitely a book that I want to add to like my kind of very small collection of Final Fantasy X things that I have, because it seems like a pretty cool thing. So I might do like a little kind of Ultimania unboxing. We'll have a look at the content in it together. If the content in it is expansive and there's a lot of information in there, then maybe we can do some videos about the content presented in the Ultimania, etc, etc. So that's another thing, but until I actually see the book arrives and I see what's inside it, I can't comment too much on it right now. But hopefully it will have enough interesting things in there for you guys to see some content about it. So there we go, guys. These are the updates I wanted to share with you. We've got lots of really cool content coming. Final Fantasy VII's coming to the stream. The moderator story's coming. You're going to get to meet the mods. Part 2 of my How I Make My Videos series is continuing. We've got anniversaries coming up. We've got special new Final Fantasy X content coming up. All of that good stuff. So stay tuned to the channel. I've got lots of cool things coming. Thank you all so much for your support, and I will see you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.